Hey, yo, yo.
Back, Hir-O.
Yo, check it. This my special attack, 100 swords, 100 episodes, and here's to 100 more. Who got next? Place your change on the cabinet. Air Combo University graduates juggle my enemies before tagging in the Masters Hero. Pros in action, toe tagging champions getting active. The message will always get near you. Return to the dream team, Spider-Man and Strider hear you. When the mask is on, I can't promise Cyclops to keep his glasses on. The handshake was potent. The inner glow shown as a mega optic blast, trailing behind the Shinku Hadouken. How you gon' dodge both of them? Blast you down to the last atom. Best regards from the proton cannon you couldn't fathom. If you were raised on gaming and put a controller up, I'm old enough to study the meta before I bless you. We understood space in the dash clean. Now we need the Justin Wong poster right next to the pro athletes. Final justice like a primary lotus from out the sky. Stars and stripes reminding you racism is still alive. Bring a plasma sword to a gunfight. Hayato, bring a hurricane kick. Tatsumaki Sentakyu. One time for all my otakus who played the console till their eyes closing. Probably forgot to study for their finals. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash.
Recording. Boom.
Yo, welcome.
Wagwan.
My voice is gone. Had a basketball tournament last weekend with my boys, and hey, man,
Doubleton.
So I was yelling at them all weekend, but shout out to my guys, man. I'm proud of these kids. 3-0, won the championship. Been kind of testing out small ball lineup, five guards playing a 3/4 court 1-2-2, real intense, like pressure on the ball at the top of the key, trapping it in the corners, trapping that first pass,
A little run and gun.
Yeah,
Jump trap.
Yeah, it's been successful, man. It's just we have trouble rebounding out of it, but I'm kind of doing this as to light the fire under my two big kids, because they haven't been rebounding very well.
Yeah, I gotta go get the ball.
So I'm trying to get them to kind of buy into being a little more physical and hitting the glass by showing them that I will play all these guards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shout out to my team, man. Proud of you guys.
Boom.
Welcome. It's episode 146 as far as I know.
Sure. What did you say?
We got a lot to talk about, man. Got some wrestling to talk about, some sports.
Yeah.
We had the Black Bowl.
Yep. Nigger Bowl. It was good.
Can you imagine Vince McMahon like being cryogenically frozen, as we know he does, freezes himself for years, and then wakes up and then has it as alarm set to watch the Super Bowl because it's it's such an American thing, and then he wakes up and turns it on and sees there's two black quarterbacks playing.
There's what? Those two guys are playing what position?
Wait a minute, what is this? What is this, a Chappelle show?
Yeah, is it just a quarterback gimmick or what? Put me back in.
What is this, the year 2091? This can't be.
Bro, what's funny? So I watch the Bomani Jones show on HBO sometimes. He made such a good point about like how the quarterback evaluation,
just running around, he's not even throwing the ball.
The quarterback evaluation has always been like black
athlete,
quarterbacks, right? Athlete
can't throw. See if he'll be willing to play receiver.
It's an experiment, right? Like we'll see if it's not sustainable. But watch how Bomani's point was. Watch how the narrative on what a good quarterback starts to change once all these white guys are mobile.
Because
it's already happening. Like the mobile white guys are now. It's like, the ideal quarterback gotta have some mobility.
Gotta have some mobility. He's athletic.
What do you mean?
You want him to be able to move around a little bit back there. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Just a few years ago, you had to be a statue in the pocket.
All the niggas can do that.
Had
shit.
to have good pocket presence.
All the black quarterbacks were fast and mobile.
What you mean?
And they could also throw. They also had howitzers on their arms too.
Here's another one. I got another one for you. I don't know if this guy has the work ethic to be an NFL quarterback. There's another one for you. Athleticism. Yeah, we're going to be hearing a lot of that with all these black quarterback prospects of the draft coming up. So
Josh Allen though, he changed it. Oh, all right, white boy pocket quarterback passers. Mm-hmm. It ain't gonna be us that took your job. It was Josh Allen.
It's gonna be your own kind.
Yeah. You just need to hope that you're one of these mutants that's also as fast too, like Josh Allen is.
Vince McMahon drinking coffee and checking a Josh Allen box score. What color is that guy?
Bring him in. Put the strap on him. They're not allowed to say strap in WWE. Put the belt on him.
Oh gosh. But yeah, man. What are you into currently, my friend?
Man, I'm gonna take a moment to talk about. I know we're gonna talk about sports more in a second, but what I have been into, unfortunately. But not anymore. I'm good now. I was absolutely losing my mind about the NBA draft or the NBA trade deadline. It was super weird, man. It's such a weird trade deadline.
Yep.
Like everybody blew it except for the Suns. I feel like. Did anybody else win?
That's because they just be out there. Yeah, I think the Blazers won.
Really?
I'm gonna talk about that in a minute.
Who did they? Okay.
Cam Reddish.
Oh,
I'm such a like.
But is he gonna play?
Wait, why he's been starting.
Has he?
Been
okay,
good.
all right.
I want to say this though, because I was gonna bring this up later, but we can just talk about it.
Let's just do our sports section now. We might as well.
Let's just get into the sports right now. Yeah, let's do that. So yeah, talking about the trade deadline. Before we get into more about the trade deadline, I just have this. Cam Reddish is just one athlete in the history of sports for me. I think we always have our guys that we just buy into despite what they've shown us, despite what they've, the opportunities they've been given. There's always the athlete that you like so much and you're just like, oh man, if he could just land on the right team and just get the right opportunity and playing with the right guys and the right amount of minutes, where you just need everything to be perfect around that player.
Yep.
Cam Reddish is definitely my most recent athlete like that. Like this, I have just, despite everything that's happened, this is just one player that I've just constantly buy into anytime his team changes, and it's just because I know how good that dude is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He's a bucket. Yeah, I mean, he's would have been perfect for the Pistons, but they flirted with him too long and never pulled the trigger.
And just some other players of that similar. Do you remember Terrence Williams?
Yes.
He was another player like that for me, where I was just like, no, this guy can hoop.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Tyreek Evans was another guy that was like that for me. OJ Mayo, you know what I'm saying? I was always like,
here's one. Lonnie Walker IV.
Yes, man, Lonnie Walker.
The problem with those guys though always is inconsistent shooting. That's the only thing that keeps them from.
Well, and also kind of the thing
way.
that I've been telling you about Kuminga is, some of these guys just want to score 30 and that's it, and it's not even from a standpoint of them shooting inefficiently. It's from a standpoint of the effort that they give in the other areas of the game.
They don't care about anything but buckets. Yeah. So anyways, man, trade deadline. The thing. So the Pistons make one move. They trade Sadiq Bey and Kevin Knox as a weird 4-team deal where the following happens. The Pistons send Sadiq Bey to Golden State.
Yes.
Yes. Whoops. Golden State.
Yes, we got our guy. He was Sadiq Bey. Let's go. He was on my list of 5 players that I wanted to get the trade deadline. That I wanted to get at the trade deadline. Let's go. We won. Wait, what? Wait, what happened?
Golden State Warriors immediately route Sadiq Bey.
What y'all doing?
To the Atlanta Hawks.
Do you have the crappy song?
Yeah. Had him for like 2 seconds.
Looking at you, Bob Myers, Warriors GM.
So they immediately route Sadiq Bey to the Atlanta Hawks for 5 second-round picks, which is just a really weird thing
That's
to
a
get
weird
back.
haul. That's a really weird mid.
It's like, no, you're not gonna quite give you a first-round pick. So here's a million second-round picks.
We're not gonna quite give you a pizza, but
so here's a bunch of pepperoni and some cheese.
Here's some shredded cheese and some pepperoni
and the sauce on the side
and a Ziploc bag.
Right, you fucking asshole. Fuck you. Here's
some pizza flavored Doritos.
Here's some pizza pockets, you fucking bitch. So then the Golden State Warriors immediately route those 5 second-round picks to Portland for the corpse.
I wouldn't say the corpse.
for the stretchered body of Gary Payton II.
Now let me chime in on this.
And also the Pistons sent Kevin Knox to the Blazers, for some reason.
Whatever.
Have no idea why. To make the money work. For James Wiseman. I forgot to say that's what they traded him for James Wiseman.
For James Wiseman, right? The Warriors finally traded James Wiseman. So just as a Warriors fan, my first takeaway from this trade was I was mad because I wanted Sadiq Bey. Like, I legitimately wanted Sadiq Bey. I would have been so good with I literally would have been cool with straight up trading James Wiseman for Sadiq Bey. Like, I would have been okay with that.
I would have been horrified with that.
I know you'd have been mad.
I would have puked. I would have pooped my pants. Puke pooped.
I was down for that. And I wanted Sadiq Bey. So then when they moved him, it took a while too for it to get announced. So I didn't know exactly what the heck they were doing. Yeah. So at first, just kind of going through what I was feeling at the time, I was like, yo, are they getting John Collins? Like, they must be getting John Collins. Like, yes, let's go.
The funny thing is the Pistons also thought they were getting John Collins.
That's so weird.
And meanwhile, nobody got John Collins.
He's
just hanging out.
So I'm sitting here refreshing my thing like, yo, they better be getting John Collins. Like, what's happening, And then it comes out that they traded the weird second-round pepperoni picks to the Blazers to get Gary Payton back. Now, to be clear, Gary Payton II is one of my all-time favorite Warriors players. Huge part of the team last year. Fits into the team and the way that they play, the defense that they need from him. He's such a great defender. He's a superb athlete, like, knows how to fit into the offense that they run, and he doesn't get in the way or mess it up, which is what some of these younger players do, and that's why Steve Kerr hates them. So I love him. Great fit. And I wanted them to sign him back last year, but they couldn't, So that's fine. But my thing is, and also, after everything, I looked more into the trade. This was more, and it sucks because it's like now you really truly lost the James Wiseman experiment. And as we know, as I've said, I've been off James Wiseman for the last 2 years. Okay, so if you trade him earlier when his value is higher, you actually can come out of this situation kind of winning a little bit. Now it's purely a money move because he was about to make a bunch of money next year. That's why, this happened, and they kind of got that money off the books, which is a win for the organization, but not for the team, in my opinion.
They saved like $30 million or something.
So now, you do this, and then it comes out that Gary Payton had this weird like core injury, and the Blazers were shooting him up, with these shots, and kind of just tell them like, hey man, like, you just got paid, you need to play.
Put him off. He was throwing him out there off a fucking zebra kidney injection.
Off of making him drink badger milk before the game. And You know, what they say in dodgeball, the beaver tranquilizers.
Gave that nigga a fucking orangutan kneecap injection. A tiger abdominal replacement transfer.
So the Warriors, you know, they do the physical and he doesn't pass it. They decide to still, you know, send the trade through, which I think you absolutely have to, because what are you going to do? Bring James? What? Hey, James.
Right.
Just kidding. We still believe in you, kid. We still love you.
Oh, I'm about to find it. Go ahead. Keep talking. I'm about to find this.
So the trade goes through. You know, myself, I love to have GP back, but it's just the Warriors really dropped the ball on this James Wiseman thing. And now, you know, but now it's kind of it's finally done. And now they can, you know, they can figure out what else they got to do from here. I will say, I really hope this team finds a big in the buyout market, man. They absolutely have to add some more size in that team, and especially since Steve Kerr hates the youngins so much, which is, you know, we talked off air. It's starting to annoy me a little bit. You know, eventually you got to get these guys. You got to get these guys out there because because you know, I already told you I'm all the way in on Kuminga now. You know, and the way that Kerr plays him is so inconsistent. It really bothers me. So I just want, you know, find some consistency with these young guys. Add a big in the buyout market. Like, I'm kind of hoping that I've been seeing that Kevin Love might be a buyout candidate. Kelly Olynyk, who you already know I'm really high on him. So, you know, Mason Plumlee too. These are guys I would love to have that may enter the buyout market. I heard Gordon Hayward. He's not a big, but he would be a great fit for the team. I heard that he might be a buyout guy too. So we'll see. So
this is hilarious. This is a I saw this GIF or this video. James Wiseman and Sadiq Bey coming back to their respective teams.
I know, man. It hurt me too. Come here, man. I know, man.
That shit is hilarious, bro.
Oh my goodness! If you're listening on stream and you're not watching the video, this is a video of Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas, which for some reason makes it funny.
Come here, man.
Both then when they made up their beef.
Oh my goodness!
Giving each other
that is so funny.
That's hilarious.
So just on your end as a Pistons fan, how do you feel? How do you feel about taking a swing on James Wiseman?
So here. Let me answer a different question by way of that question. I was not happy with the trade at first, and I was so down on it that it made me rethink. I started to
rethink Troy Weaver.
Yeah, like, bro, because it was very clear that he's been horny for James Wiseman for literally since he came in the league. He was number one on his draft board. He was threatening to trade for him like every offseason.
Wish he would have.
and I would have been fine with it, but like here comes Jalen Duren, who's like immediately better,
way better,
immediately, right? And I'm like,
and I told you, bro,
what are we doing here?
I just don't think that he has played basketball long enough.
Right, and so that's the hope because he's already played. The ironic thing is that Jalen Duren, while he's 2 years younger, has already played like 40 more games than him in his career or something like that. So the way that I was feeling was, all right, like I'm cool. So like what else you got, right?
Yeah.
And I was down on the trade. Once it turned out that was the only move, I was like really like, yo, did Troy Weaver just get really, really like horny for his guy and just overpaid for him? Right? Because I mean, Sadiq Bey,
it's kind of a I don't know what you're going to say, but I think it's kind of a similar money thing for you too.
Not quite. Well, I mean, maybe a little bit because Bey he's gonna command a couple of bills next year.
That's what I was getting at.
But he hasn't done nothing to make us think that he's worth a max deal. Like ain't nobody about to pay him a max deal, so it's a non-factor, right? Like he get what he has earned, which is a pretty good contract, but not a max deal. But anyways, I think the reason why I was so down on it was because I was disappointed that the Pistons. It had nothing to do with James Wiseman. Like I think James Wiseman is young enough and athletic enough and has enough upside to potentially be a good player still. And I hope it works out. But like I was just upset that the Pistons didn't also make a move for another asset, right? Whether it be a young player or another first round pick, because we still need talent, bro. We still need
facts.
Another guy. Like we got potentially a guy in Cade Cunningham. He's the only player that I have confidence will be a all NBA, all-star caliber player currently on our roster. There are other guys who could do it. I think Jalen Duren could do it. I think Jaden Ivey could do it. But Cade Cunningham is the only one that I have reasonable doubt. I have reason to believe will most likely be that type of player. Right. Any competing team needs at least 2 or 3 of those guys, and right now we only got one. We only maybe have one.
Yeah.
So if as long as you still are searching for another impact, all-star caliber guy, you need to be getting as many swings at the bat as possible. So getting more assets, getting more draft capital is always going to help. And when you got somebody like Bojan Bogdanovic and
are you surprised that they didn't move him?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you got a guy like Bojan Bogdanovic and you got a guy like Alec Burke, who both were commanding a ton of interest at the trade deadline, and you just didn't move them. Like now everybody keeps saying, "Oh, there's more coming. He's gonna make a move in the offseason, blah blah blah." And he probably will, but like, why the fuck not do it right now? Because the only thing that's gonna happen is that Bojan is going to trip and fall and average 30 and win us some extra games that we don't need to win. You know what I mean? Like, whoops, some sweet and made scored 40.
Scored 40. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was too good a shooter.
Facts.
Like, no, we need weak play now. Like, we need our young guys to play well and still lose, right? Like, that's what we need. We need our young guys to show flashes of excellence and then poop themselves at the last moment. That's exactly what we need for every game from here on out.
Man.
Because there's some, I mean, obviously you got Scoot and you got Victor and you got Sterling. I'm not calling him Scoot no more, bro. His name is Sterling Henderson.
And that is
such a cooler name. You got Victor and Sterling at the top of the draft, but then you also got like Brandon Miller at 3, who looks like Paul George, kind of like 6'9", sweet as hell, can shoot and dribble and cross people over and dunk, right? Like, perfect player for us, right? Like there's guys in this draft.
That's the kind of guy that they need to.
Exactly. Like there's guys at the top of this draft that can change our franchise, and we need another guy.
So let's say the Pistons don't get the one, right? And they don't get Wembanyama. Wouldn't you? Am I off base to say that he's a better fit than Sterling Henderson is?
Brandon Miller? Yeah. I mean, it's not crazy, bro. It's not crazy. So here's what I would do.
Would you be surprised if they traded down one spot? I know that doesn't happen in the NBA as often as it happens in football.
Well, I would do this. I would consider it for sure.
Because all you have to do is kind of threaten that you would take the player.
Exactly.
Like, hey, we're going to shop Jaden Ivey.
Fine. Right.
We're not really going to trade him, but let's put it out. You obviously got to talk to him. Hey man, we're gonna just put these rumors out here so we can shop this, so we can trade this.
You ain't gotta tell him. Just be like, hey, look, general manager of team underneath us, we about to draft Scoot. So
right,
y'all niggas want to do something about that or what?
Y'all gonna stop us from doing that or what?
Because I'll do it. I'll turn all this shit off right now. I'll change your whole franchise right now.
Trade him LeBron James in our pick.
All right. So here's what it's gonna cost. We're gonna get that 3rd pick, and we want every single draft pick for the next 17 years. And we'll take it, and y'all can have Sterling.
Go ahead and move on.
And we'll take Brandon. I would consider it because I think the gap between Sterling Henderson and Brandon Miller is shrinking, in my opinion. I I look at it like this. I think Sterling Henderson is a guy that's going to come into the league and average 20 immediately, day one. I think Brandon Miller is going to come into the league and average 16 to 18, but make Cade Cunningham a lot better by being just a capable 3-point shooter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wouldn't be crazy especially if Cade can get to the line, if they can send whatever letter out to the referees to hold somebody hostage and be like, if y'all don't fucking start calling fouls for Cade, like something's happening here.
Come on, man.
It wouldn't surprise me if he averaged 25, 7, and 7 next year. Like that's a superstar.
That's reasonable.
Superstar immediately, right? Like And if he does that, then we're gonna be a better team. So we'll see what happens. We're moving in the right direction, but I wasn't in love with this trade deadline. But here's to hoping it works out.
Hated the trade deadline. Boom, sports talk. All right, man, quick wrestling recap. Let's see what we got here. New Japan had New Beginning shows. Very, very good. Like I said, man, New Japan is back. The crowd back making noise.
Nice.
Such an important element to wrestling, man.
No more golf claps.
Yes. Doesn't matter. It just doesn't. It just doesn't matter what's going on in the ring if the crowd can't add to the spectacle. It's just not the same.
Agreed.
New Beginning was dope. Best match, Okada versus Shingo, fire. Will Ospreay versus Taichi, fire. Naito and Shooter Umino, good. Good matches, man. Good matches. I will say that AEW has also been good. This whole MJF Danielson thing is getting a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
It's getting more interesting. Bryan Danielson, man.
Yeah.
This guy, I mean, right now he's got to be, in this very short time, he's got to be Wrestler of the Year so far of 2023.
I would agree.
He's just...
Has he won it before?
Oh, yeah. I think he's won it before. There's literally a Pro Wrestling Observer Award named after him. Like the Technical Wrestler of the Year is like literally, I think, named after him, the Bryan Danielson Award.
Wow.
But he's... Yeah, that guy, he's having an amazing start to the year.
Just a quick, we forgot to mention this. Ben Simmons is like unequivocally, like categorically weak now. Like,
yeah, he needs
out.
to be out of the league. I mean,
He's
this
bad.
is such a good conversation I had with Jayless the other day because he was, I was explaining to him how. Because he was like kind of getting curious about the draft and like how players, what determines what. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of telling him like, well, a lot of the problem with NBA scouts is they buy into physical gifts and potential more than they do skill. Mm-hmm. And I was explaining to him that's why so many people miss the ball on Steph Curry coming out of high school and, going into the league. I was like, look at some of the guards that got drafted ahead of Steph Curry, And I was like, when he was in high school, he only had like one D1 offer from Davidson. It's because these scouts look at the physical tools more than they do the skills, and at the end of the day, the skills are going to outlast the physical tools. But the problem is that everybody thinks that they can mold. They think that they look at the potential in the physical skills, and they think that if I could just change a shooting form, and he'll be really good. And they all think they can do that, and we see so many examples where, this guy's kind of 20, and he's kind of been doing this his whole life. So, it's probably not gonna change. And we see so many players like that, and they fizzle out of the league. But it's still the same. They still buy into that those physical gifts more than anything. And I think just seeing Ben Simmons, man, like, and then it's like I said, these are guys that have been doing this their whole life. Are you really going to be able to change their ethos as a human on the court? You know what I'm saying? Like, and what they, what they're comfortable doing and all that. I doubt it.
Physical tools are only important when also they can hoop.
Dog, it's crazy. The fall of Ben Simmons has been absolutely nuts. But yeah, man, back to wrestling. Bryan Danielson, amazing year so far. WWE got Elimination Chamber and stuff coming up. Sami Zayn, man, we talked about it already. Mm-hmm. I think Sami Zayn's got to be the guy. He's got to be the guy, man. He's got to win the title at WrestleMania. There's no other way that will blow the roof off the building more than that.
So So what's happening now? Like, is that possibly going to happen?
It's possible. It's we got the Cody. It's kind of like a trifecta going on.
Are they going to make it
Cody,
a 3-man match?
I don't think they're going to do that, but there may be like some way that maybe Roman Reigns drops one of the belts if he defends them separately. Maybe he drops one to Cody before WrestleMania or something, or to Sammy before WrestleMania or something. And then maybe we get like Sammy versus Jey Uso or something like that, or something like that. Something involving all that stuff. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, man. Just finish this up. I always do match of the week. Match of the week this week. Last week it was Samoa Joe and Darby Allin. This week, man, it was close. It's between Shingo versus Okada, which was the main event at New Beginning. But I got to go with Bryan Danielson versus Rush on Dynamite, man. My goodness.
That was a beef slapper.
Beef slapper. Blood. AEW loves blood. Blood.
That was one of the stiffest matches I've ever seen.
It was so good. And just like
Daniel Bryan was flat out socking him.
Yeah, he was.
Like straight up.
Now, just in terms of like the big dramatic like New Japan, like I think it was a better match, but in a vacuum, like if I just want somebody to turn a match on right now, just watch it and enjoy it in this moment, it would be the Danielson Rush match. It's shorter, it's a sprint, it's faster pace, it's brutal, it's entertaining. You know what I'm saying? So I would go with that match. So that's your match this week: Bryan Danielson versus Rush from Dynamite. Boom. All right, man. Let's real quick the Super Black Bowl.
Yeah.
It was dope, man. What were your thoughts on the Super Bowl? And just as a Lions fan, I want to know, what did watching the Super Bowl tell you about the Detroit Lions, your team?
That they still got a long way to go. It told me that if you can attack it, like getting pressure with 4 and not needing to blitz is like the key to an elite defense.
Yes, it is. And if you can get pressure with 4, that means your corners ain't got to be out there covering. Because let's be real, these receivers now are uncheckable.
Yeah.
So you can't have your corners out there trying to stop these dudes from getting open for 10 seconds.
They will get open. Exactly. Period. Also, that like, although there's room to improve, we also almost beat the Eagles. Like, it's not impossible that the Lions are like legitimately good next year. So I'm excited about it. My biggest observation from the Super Bowl was that I was performing while the Super Bowl was happening, while it was getting good too. Like I was on stage in the beginning of the fourth quarter when Patrick Mahomes started going crazy.
I know, you sent me that. Saw you that picture you sent on Discord.
Dog, what the fuck is going? Like, I was paying attention to my set also, but also
that is hilarious.
I had to pause for a couple of touch football downs because Pat started flinging the pill around, and I was like, whoops.
Oh, man. Patrick Mahomes, greatest quarterback of all time.
Ever, period. Full stop.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. Jalen Hurts, second best quarterback in the league right now. I don't want to hear it. Biggest stage, absolutely ripped it up on the Super Bowl. Black, mobile. Jalen Hurts, man.
Yep.
Second best quarterback in the league. In my opinion, Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. It's top 5 right there. And I would interchange Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence too. If they can. Oh yeah, Trevor Lawrence is coming. He's starting to get his stuff together. Yeah. But yeah, man, my biggest takeaway from the Super Bowl, thought it was a great game. Jerick McKinnon, smartest, most unselfish play in Super Bowl history. Could have scored a touchdown and bragged to his grandkids about it for the rest of his life. This dude chose to go down and in the game in way less dramatic fashion, but such a smart play. And then my biggest takeaway from the game, bro, is that Kirk Cousins never will make these plays that these two quarterbacks are making. That was honestly the first thing I thought. Get you a mobile quarterback, Black. All right.
Did you think too much was made of that holding call?
I mean, it was. Yeah, I thought it was too much.
Wait. Let me rephrase the question. Do you think they should have let that go because of the moment, quote unquote?
No, because he held him.
He held him. I agree. Like, that's what I thought. Like, bro, it was a hold. I think people can't. So and I'm not a football expert, but I do know what a holding call looks like. And I think people saw the second part of the play and reacted to that and missed the part where he literally held him on the line.
Yeah, that was
where the hold was.
It was holding. I mean, you could whatever. I mean,
travel.
Right.
You travel.
Oh, well, why would you call that with a game on the line?
Because he walked.
Because you did.
Right,
what you talking about? Also, there was. I didn't think that Dallas Goedert caught that pass either. That pass where he caught it and then he juggled it and then he
went out of bounds.
Went out of bounds. He did not get. I didn't think that should have been a catch either. So.
Nah, so here the only thing. So as a Lions fan, I have. Empathy
I know you guys
for that.
have been hit with the catch rule worse than anybody else.
Did he catch it or not, bro? Come on.
The ball's in his hands. It's a catch, dog.
What are we tripping, bro?
What are we doing right now? Nah, bro. You gotta catch it. You gotta fall to the ground. You gotta let this kid run on your stomach across your stomach.
Then you gotta do your taxes from a seated position while still holding the football in order for it to count.
Then you gotta cook a meal holding the ball in between both hands.
They used to do Calvin Johnson
you gotta change your clothes while holding the football.
That catch was so unbelievable that it doesn't count. And they just made some shit up.
That's ridiculous.
They caught the ball over 3 grown men.
The catch rules are so dumb. Dog, did he catch it or not?
The spirit of did he fucking, come on, dog. He caught that bitch. Stop tripping.
Can you imagine? What if the NBA was like ball goes in the hoop?
Well, you know me.
It kind of hit the rim.
I do that to myself all the time. Where it's like, it wasn't a swish all the way. So it wasn't bloody cash enough.
Oh my God.
I used to say, I need to go back and shoot it again because it wasn't all net enough for me.
Oh goodness! All right, man. Sorry, guys, for all the sports talk for other people that don't care about sports.
Hey! Well, actually,
all right, man. I want to know. So you just got done playing Forspoken.
Yeah, good game.
You liked it.
Yep.
What is your most anticipated game with a confirmed release date?
Let's see.
And what is your most anticipated game without a confirmed release date?
Upcoming video games. So let's see what we got here. I know that, but I got answers, but I need to know which one has a release date or not. So Wulong. Okay, so Wulong Fallen Dynasty, that's coming out
March 3rd, dog.
But it's a Souls-like.
No, you know what? I might honestly for a Chinese martial arts game.
Yeah,
I gotta bite the bullet for that one.
See what the frustration feels like.
I gotta see what it's about. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play that one.
Yep. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, definitely excited for that.
Yes, sir. Does that have a release date?
April 28th.
Let's go.
Street Fighter 6.
Also, I don't know, man. I'm kind of tired of not being able to create a character in a Star Wars game.
Nah, 100%. I mean, I feel that way, period. But I did like the first one. It was a fun game, so I'm interested in playing the second one. It's not that high on my list. What's probably the highest on my list, believe it or not, bro, Street Fighter 6, dog.
Yes.
Create your own fighter.
Come on, man.
I'm very excited about that.
What you
mean? There's also Final Fantasy 16 that I heard is going to be awesome, but have to figure out if I want to play that shit because they decided there wasn't no niggas in there and then double down like nope, it ain't no niggas. Right. Nah, that's exactly what the director said. Like, nah, it ain't. Now what, nigga? Like, okay, well, I guess I have to decide whether or not I'm gonna play it. And then I think I missed one here. Although did I do PS? I think I forgot to do Switch. So the biggest one though I did forget is definitely Breath of the Wild 2, which I know has a release date. Oh, there we go. May 12th. Tears of the Kingdom. It's actually technically not Breath of the Wild's 2. It's Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. So very very excited about that game. And then for games that don't have a release date, there's obviously Starfield, which I'm excited about. I don't really know if it's gonna be. I think it's only gonna be on Xbox. Good thing I bought one and haven't played it at all, except for I bought one for this game, and it's been forever since it came out.
Oh, geez.
Or it'll be forever until it comes out. There's another. What's that other Chinese Wulong game?
The Monkey King game. Black. What is it?
I don't see it here.
That game. I don't think that game's coming out till 2024.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure there's not a release date for it.
Yeah, I don't see one. But I'm definitely interested in that game.
I am also
more so than Wulong Fallen Dynasty.
Facts. Black Myth. That's what
Black
it's called.
Myth.
Black
Song
Myth.
Wukong Black Myth.
Wukong, yeah.
Wait, did that one have a? Did I just?
I don't think it has a release date. I think it's just coming out next year, 2024.
Okay. Yeah, man. Wulong Fallen Dynasty. It looks good, but it is definitely a Souls-born game.
Yay! Might have to just get mad, play it anyway.
Yep. It's gonna be in the vein of Neo.
Neo. Props though for their character customization in that game.
True.
They had great black
They did
stuff going on in that game for creating your character.
Indeed.
All right, man. So for me, I mean, obviously, Wulong, Fallen Dynasty, that's at the top of my list. Street Fighter 6 at the top of my list as well. And again, I mean, there's no confirmed release date. I don't even know if this game's coming out in the next 2 years, but I'm so excited for this Logan game.
Fuck yeah, man. Hard R.
Nigger!
The nigger game.
The nigger game. Hey, bub.
I heard you were a nigger. Come on, Logan.
Come on, Logan. What time period did this game take place in? I'm excited for that game. If that game is anything like I think it's gonna be, man. Yeah. What's crazy is there was a sneaky good Wolverine game a long time ago on GameCube that they did a really good job with. So I am just really excited for this game. Boom. Real quick, man. During the Super Bowl, there was a Flash trailer. I am not a DC guy. We all know that. I'm not really, haven't been into the DC movies. What is going on with what's happened? Can you so this Flash trailer, I mean, I'm not Flash illiterate. I know comic stuff. I just haven't been into the movies. But can you just explain this trailer? How'd you feel about it? Because I know Flash is one of your guys.
I do like the Flash. I don't like Ezra Miller. Let's make that clear.
Okay.
Because he's a fucking monster.
Okay. So can you just explain what's happening in this trailer and what is going on with the DCU as far as like, are they rebooting it? Are they?
Yeah. So it's actually pretty easy to sort out here. So as it's probably going to be easiest to start with the drama. As we all know, Ezra Miller, who's the actor who's playing the Flash here, has had a ton of legal trouble, has been like accused of some really fucked up shit along the lines of like kidnapping and grooming.
Whoa, I did not know that.
And like he's like,
and they still put this trailer out with him in the movie?
Exactly. And so here's why. By any other standard.
Wait, they did?
So here just hear me out. By any other metric, if anybody else fucked up this much for this kind of movie, they would immediately cancel this shit. They canceled the Batgirl movie just because it was bad, not even because she did anything wrong, right? So they keep saying that this movie. So there's two things that means. One, it either means that the movie is excellent, and more likely, it means that they're using this story to reboot the DCEU and to start the James Gunn universe. Because in the comics, Flashpoint has been used to retcon the comic book universe
paradox
multiple times. Very much is very similar to Secret Wars. I mean, it's not in terms of what's happening, but just like as a literary device is used in the same way that Secret Wars has been used, the same way that like the New 52 and Crisis on Infinite Earths, where they use this multi-universal event to just restart everything,
to reboot the world.
So the only reasonable outcome that would explain why they still are coming out with this movie is because it's necessary for them to make sense of how James Gunn is going to reboot his new DC universe. And so the DC universe that James Gunn is getting started, it'll probably be better. James Gunn is a good filmmaker. I don't like the fact that they fired Henry Cavill. They're doing another fucking Batman movie. Stop making Batman movies.
Why are they making another Batman movie?
I think they had talks with Matt Reeves to put his Batman into the new DC universe,
bro. But I'm
and they
so
decided
tired
against it.
of Batman movies.
Yeah, bro. Like I'm fine with their. I mean, every. I think that Batman is a staple in our society. That you
stop making Batman movies.
You make I mean, no. Hear me out. You make a Batman movie like every 10 years, but you don't make one back to back to back to back like they
actually.
Have been doing.
No, you know.
I don't know. I disagree. I think Batman look. I know you don't like Batman, and I have.
But dog, there's
I've cooled off.
There's so much.
So Pete,
there's so much.
Listen though, the gap between the Joel Schumacher Batman movies and the Batman movies with Nolan was welcome. Like I was perfect. Like I was ready for another Batman movie because of how much those ones were trash. And how much like it was a new era. Like it's like there were new stories being told in the comics. Okay. And so hold on. So just hear me out. In the future, not 2 years from now, where we just fucking finished a Batman, like the fucking Batman by Matt Reeves is still going. It's not even like it just came out last year and they're already making another one. Like that, you never ever do that. You never do that again. And it makes you want to not make any more Batman movies.
Is this going to be a Batman separate from the Batman?
Yes! That's what I'm saying. Now, I agree with you there. You don't make another Batman movie, and then they're going to be making them back-to-back where they both are happening at the same time, and they're just not related.
Now in theaters. No. The Batman. Now in theaters.
Hey, you make a Batman movie 15 years from now when more kids, more babies that don't know shit about this Batman. Make another one then. Don't make 4 Batman movies. There's gonna be there's gonna be 4 actors playing Batman at the same time. You're gonna have Robert Pattinson. You got Ben Affleck, who are 2 Batmans concurrently at the same time. And then you got whoever this new fucking Batman is. And then they brought back old ass Batman and brought Michael Keaton back. There's gonna be 4 Batman at once in the next 2 years. 4. That's too many Batman. We only need 1, maybe. And if you're Noveliss, you want 0. I think you can have 1. You have 1 every 15 years. A new crop of babies who give a fuck about Batman. Make one of them black. I'll allow it. No, don't make him black. He can't change him if he's gonna be black. You can't come up with as a part of the Illuminati and the fucking under crest of fucking Gotham old white money and be black. That shit ain't gonna ever work. That movie would be short as fuck. They arrest that nigga and take him to jail immediately. So quick. Get him! He's that nigga with the mask. Get him! Woo!
Oh man!
Behind bars. End of the movie.
Police be following him home.
Right. We found Batman. Turns out his name is Bruce Wayne. Lives on in Schoolcraft. We're gonna have cops at his door in just a moment here. Knock on that next door. Come here. We know you're Batman. Hands behind your back. But what? I was just trying to not say it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be all that collaboration with the police.
Nah, they take that nigga to jail tomorrow.
The commissioner.
The commissioner. Oh no, I know who he is. It's Bruce Wayne. I talked to him.
We're buds.
Yeah, no, it's not him. Nah, he tried to help me, and then I turned my back on him, and now I'm gonna take him to jail now. Fuck him.
End credits.
Yeah, that movie would be 7 minutes long.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, too many Batman. Also, who the fuck asked for another Joker movie? Also not related to the DCEU. With Harley Quinn, it's gonna be a musical. Like that, nobody gives a shit about that weird ass edgelord incel manifesto Joker movie.
Goodness,
movie was not good.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Man,
too many Batman. That's the name of this episode.
Too many Batman. Facts. All right, man. Well, speaking of Batman movies, which could count as a film series. And speaking of this Flash movie and all these superhero movies that we've been getting, I want to know, what are your top 5 favorite, it's time for the top 5 of the day, by the way.
Boom.
Favorite film series. How do you say that? Film series? Series or series?
I don't know.
Top 5
all this shit is made up. Who cares?
Film series of all time. So we're talking about film series. So you can't necessarily sit here and be like, oh, the MCU is my favorite film series, because no. You gotta break it down individually. You like the Cap films, you like the Iron Man movies, the Avengers movies, that type of deal there. Let's go.
Yeah, this was harder than I expected.
There are so many.
Yeah, and I got some outside looking in here, some OLIs, some honorable mentions. Pirates of the Caribbean, used to be a big fan of those movies, especially the first three. The ones after that were not good in my opinion, but I like the first three a lot.
I used to be really into the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yep. The Matrix, you might be surprised that didn't make the list. Because the first movie
and this is the old, the Lakers had the best backcourt of all time. We talking about Kobe? Absolutely. Derek Fisher? Gotta take him as a one entity.
Yep. And so The Matrix is my favorite movie ever, but the other, I thought the second one was pretty good.
After that, video game.
Yep. And even the fourth one, which I did like, compared to the first two, was not on the same level. And the third one was fucking garbage. What else? I didn't include the MCU because they're so interconnected. It's hard to even amongst the series, it's hard to differentiate them. But if I had to pick one, I would probably say Black Panther. Obviously, is going to be up there.
Both of those were phenomenal.
Even like Captain America, bro. I love the second two Captain Americas.
Didn't like the first one.
First one wasn't good.
Man. That is exactly how I feel.
Like Thor, the last two Thor movies were good. The first two were not good. First two were awful. Maybe you could say the Avengers, even though that's kind of cheating because they're all that's everybody's movie.
Yeah.
All four of the Avengers movies, I think, were consistently good. Even the second one, which
I actually liked that one. I didn't hate it, and it had a lot of important stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It was the weakest of them, but it was still good in my opinion.
Yeah.
Guardians. I like Guardians would probably be up there too. I like the first Guardians a lot. The second one I thought was fine, but I have high hopes that the third one is going to be really good too. So we'll see. Those are my OLIs. Number 5. The Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy. Speaking of too many Batmans, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, all really, really good. Even The Dark Knight Rises, a lot of people thought that movie was trash. I disagree. I liked it. Here's a good one.
This is your list. So guess what? Other people don't matter.
Yeah, fuck off. Here's a good one. I'm really proud of my number 4 here. Number 4, Ip Man.
Hey, yes sir. All good.
Yep. The last two were not as good.
Not on the same level as the first two,
but they were still pretty good.
Still decent.
First two though, holy shit. Two of the greatest martial arts movies ever
made.
Period. Number 3, even though we talk about this series a lot and there are things that we love and things that we don't, you can't not have Star Wars on this list, man. Number 3.
Which Star, the original?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If I had to pick, man, this is hard, bro, because they all have flaws. If I had to pick one that has the least amount of flaws, even though it has a lot of flaws, I would probably say the original trilogy.
Okay.
The sequel trilogy, like we've talked about before, as individual movies, they were all good, but as a trilogy, they did not work. And the opposite, in my opinion, the opposite is true of the prequel trilogy. I think as a trilogy, it probably works the best, but the individual movies, and I know this breaks your heart, but the individual movies were not good, except for Revenge of the Sith.
I don't care what you think.
I don't give a fuck what you think, you fucking bitch. I don't care. Whatever. The first, the third, episode 3, I really, really like. That's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. But as a trilogy, the way that those stories work together, they are probably the strongest trilogy, even though the movies themselves were not the best.
Tells a cohesive story all the way through.
Absolutely. And also for those Star Wars nerds who still care about the stuff that was out before the canon changed, the fucking fuck, what's the guy? What's Sidious's master?
Darth Plagueis.
The Darth Plagueis novel, incredible, and it makes the trilogy so much better.
It is. I've read it. It's good stuff.
Number 2, man, upset here. The Godfather.
Wow.
At number 2.
I thought that was going to be your number 1.
I know. Because
I know what your number 1 is. Wait.
Because
I'm gonna write it down right now. I'm gonna write it down, and then if I get it right, we'll see if I got it right. I'm gonna write it down right now.
All right.
Okay, I wrote it down.
My number 1, dog. I said it before, and I'll say it again.
Wait. Let me finish writing. I don't want no cheating here. Okay, I wrote it. All right, I wrote it down. All right.
Goddamn apes on
Let's go.
tanks on motherfucking. Let's go, dog.
I was right.
Apes on tanks. The fucking Planet of the Apes trilogy is so good, dog. It's so good. It's my favorite trilogy.
This guy loves the Planet
They're all
of the Apes
good.
trilogy.
They're all like, you say what you want to say about all these legendary trilogies, even the Godfather, Star Wars. There's always something. There's always like some controversy. Oh, this one wasn't good. Oh, blah blah blah. Can't say that about the specifically the Matt Reeves Apes trilogy. They're all fantastic. All of them are phenomenal, bro. Apes on fucking tanks on horses with gats. With fucking AKs. Let's go.
Boom, I love it. I was
Human work,
right,
bro.
Human work.
Right.
I was right. I knew it.
I mean, I only talk about it like every chance I get.
You do. You love it. All right, man. Let's go. Favorite film series. I had so many on the outside looking in. A bunch of honorable mentions. Toy Story.
That's a good one.
Home Alone. Why?
Oh my God, bro.
This would have been top tier.
Easily
if
in my
y'all
top 5.
Didn't make the third.
It's just 2 more pieces of shit. Just pooped out 2 more movies for no reason.
Like, just why? Why did you have to add them to these movies? Transformers, man. I like a couple of the Transformers movies, but again, they just
a few too many
kept piling
poop
up.
Stains.
too many drawers with skid marks on them in the laundry basket, man. And then The Raid. I love the Raid movies. I love both of the Raid movies, man. Those are high up on my list. Kill Bill. I love both the Kill Bill movies. Those almost made my list. I love the Bourne movies. Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Ultimatum. I'm a big fan of those. Pirates of the Caribbean, like you said, I like the first 3, then it kind of fell off for me after that. Love the Alien movies as well. The first 2, then gets kind of goes down a little bit after that.
Yeah.
But I did like Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
Yep. Alien Covenant, they stopped fucking around. It was like, all right, fine. Here's the stuff that you wanted.
Here's
the stuff that you wanted in the first movie. My bad. Here it is.
So Alien really close to making my list too, man. And then another honorable mention, my highest honorable mention is the original Star Wars trilogy, man. All right, let's go. Again, just to clarify, I know this is crazy. I have not seen the John Wick movies.
I'm gonna add them to my OLI. They're good. I haven't seen the last one, but the first 3 were really good.
I'm gonna have to watch them.
You would like them. You would definitely like them.
That's what everybody says. I have to check them out.
There's no doubt you would like them. I think you might like them so much that they could become a top something.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch those because I'm a big fan of Keanu Reeves too.
And he's out there like it's gun fu, but it's still some fu in the gun fu. Like, he out there
some fu in the gun.
He out there martial arting kind of, but with
guns.
With guns
John,
and doing
John Woo style.
Doing it sweetly.
I'm gonna have to check it out. And again, The Matrix. Obviously, I love the first Matrix movies. One of my favorite movies of all time. I love the second one too. Morpheus, Katana on top of a moving truck. I mean,
bro, that was such a good scene.
That's one of the best scenes ever.
Yeah.
But just like the third one and the fourth one, I wasn't a big fan of either one. So, but let's go, man. Coming in number 5 for me, the Ip Man movies. Let's go. I mean, like you said, you're talking about the first 2 being 2 of the greatest martial arts movies of all time
ever.
And I mean, we knew about Donnie Yen before these movies came out, but these are the movies that really These are the films that really had people saying, "Oh, like this guy is on Bruce's level," and these are the ones that started having people compare him to Bruce, and then you go back and you watch some of his older stuff, and you're like, "Yeah, this guy is incredible."
He also has like action movie tech too, where it's like
the
martial arts stuff. Because I'll be honest, I first was introduced to Donnie Yen through Flashpoint, which was like
the movie with that long fight scene.
Dog, it's like, but like the martial arts in that, it was like an action movie where the martial arts were like tactical.
Yeah, it was kind of Jackie Chan-ish in like Police Story, or
right.
You know what I'm saying?
And when I did more research on him, because like there are American action movies that have fights like that. But then I did my research on Donnie Yen. I was like, wait, this guy's like a legit, like legendary martial artist.
Yeah,
like legendary out here. And so then I became a big fan of his.
Yeah. So shout out to Donnie Yen. Those movies are amazing. And like you said, man, the first two are A+. The third and fourth aren't not on that same level. Still good.
Yeah.
The fourth one you get that dope Donnie Yen Scott Adkins fight. Which is kind of a martial arts film, like dream match, so to say, so that was cool. So that's my number 5. Coming in number 4, I got the boring pick of the list, the Avengers movies. Just as a diehard comic book fan, like these have to be the first. These films were just something that we guys our age that grew up in the 90s reading comic books never thought would happen. Like, it's just too much, like no way they'll be able to get all these characters in these movies. No way they'll be able to have a budget to make it look good. No way they'll be able to, and they did it 4 times.
And every one of them was good.
The first Avengers, awesome. Just seeing all those characters together, and then we thought that was like the apex, right? We thought that was like the top of the mountain, and they would never be able to top that. The second one came out, it was good. It had a lot of important stuff in it. I mean, that was the first time Thor has that vision where you see all the stones in the gauntlet. There was some
that was
really,
a very strange scene.
Yeah, it was weird, but there's some really good Easter eggs in that. And even at the end of the first Avengers movie, right, like the Thanos at the end. And I remember I was seeing that with my brother. Me and my brother started losing our minds, and there's like these people sitting next to us, and they're like,
"What's going on? Was that the Hulk?" No. The Hulk was in the movie. What are you talking about?
The Hulk screen!
He's right there.
But just amazing. And the Hulk, man, in that first MVP of that first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Like
but what about Thor though?
Thor was good, but
Thor had the bottleneck and was like electrocuting entire legions at once.
Did, bro. But the Hulk was so good in that movie.
He was good.
Iron Man was so good. Everybody was so flawless in that first movie. He was so good.
Even Hawkeye had a couple of moments.
Hawkeye had some good moments. That movie is so dope. And then the second.
I just love this. I think it was in Avengers 2 where Hawkeye has he asked himself the same question that we've all been asking, like, bro, what the fuck you doing out here?
Yeah.
He was like, bro, I got a
He's
bone
like,
arrow.
dog, I'm just kind of like,
I don't know what the fuck is going on,
I'm a regular guy.
There's monsters out here and I got a bone arrow, so I'm just trying to figure it out.
But man, the Avengers movies, even the second one was good. The third, man, Infinity War. Come on now, like Infinity War, one of the best movies of all time. Love that movie.
Infinity War, better than Endgame, in my
Infinity War,
opinion.
way better than Endgame. I actually, in my opinion, Endgame's the weak link to me. For me personally on this list. I don't think it aged well. I think it's too timey-wimey.
There's some timey-wimey nonsense there.
I think you literally are tempted to fast forward to the Soul Stone, because from there on it's
good.
It's a 10, but before that, leading up to
it was very slow.
Very slow.
I mean, it's a victim of the type of movie that it was.
It is,
to be slow.
And like time travel is a dangerous thing to do in movies because of all the, you know what I'm saying?
Nobody can make it make sense consistently.
So that is kind of the thing about doing movies like that, But just Infinity War, in my opinion, is the strong one here. But obviously, number 4. Coming in at number 3. Kind of crazy that this tops the number 4. And I think the only reason I put it above the 4 is because I just like there are two, even though I love all four, there's two here that they just aren't top level to me. Like I love Age of Ultron, but it's not top level to me. I love Endgame, but it's not top level to me. This film trilogy here coming at number 3, all 3 films top level to me. Lord of the Rings, dog.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. I love Lord of the Rings. The first one, in my opinion, flawless. I think it's the best one still. Everybody says the third one is, but I think the first one is the best one.
Yeah.
The story, the second half of that movie, it picks up so much. And just, man, everything is so good in the Lord of the Rings movies, man. I love them. The first one's my favorite. The second one, the long battle scene in the two towers, man, incredible. And then the third one, man, just bringing the story home, dog, like without any hiccups. Like they really, this is Lord of the Rings trilogy is that drawing of the horse where it's just like all the way through. Yeah. So that's my number 3. My number 2, much to Hir-O's dislike, the Star Wars prequels, man. Let's go. My favorite Star Wars trilogy. You guys know how I feel about episode 1. You know, I always didn't really like episode 2, but I've recently gone back and watched it with the kids and stuff, and I
Wait a minute, bro.
What up?
This was the one place where you and I had a common ground.
No, listen. Wait a minute.
Don't betray me here, bro.
I'm not gonna say it's good, but I think it has fun. It's fun. This is the movie where you see like all the Jedi together on Geonosa. This is the movie where
that was the Mace Windu.
Yeah, this is where
that was a good scene.
Bro, until this day, is that Jango Fett's head that pops out of his helmet when Mace Windu cuts his head off?
It was brutal murder.
That's so crazy.
Bro, Mace Windu,
like his helmet hits the ground and then there's something that flies
out. That was a brutal, graphic, horrifying, traumatizing murder
scene
that Boba Fett witnessed. And now he's fucked up forever, as we see in the rest of his career. I mean, look, bro, Mace Windu was flirted with the dark side all the time.
Yeah,
so
facts. But just the first time you see Mace Windu in action on the screen, first Yoda fight, which was a huge deal when we were younger, that was dope. And then like the Obi-Wan on Camino fight with Jango Fett in the rain, and like this is my favorite look of Obi-Wan, the long hair and the beard. Like I loved it. So this is, that movie didn't kill it for me like I thought it did. And then episode 3, man, one of my favorite Star Wars movies, Revenge of the Sith, just a classic.
That's my second favorite Star Wars movie ever.
It's my second favorite Star Wars movie too.
Or a third now, but before the sequel trilogy was my second.
It's my second. Obviously, you guys know how I feel about Phantom Menace. I don't even got to talk about it because I talk about it all the time. Darth Maul, boom. And my number 1 favorite film series, you guys know it's the Zatoichi movies. Let's go. All 23 of them joints. Love them all. Favorites. That film series literally changed my life last year. I've seen all of them multiple times. Love it so much. Shintaro Katsu, man, one of the GOATs. I've really gotten into him just as a person, and this guy was nuts.
Yeah, he was. Didn't he flirt with the Yakuza? Kinda?
He was. Yeah, Shintaro Katsu was. I think that Toshiro Mifune is incredible, and he always gets kind of that credit as that, that like him, Nakadai. There's a couple other guys that were just really big time Japanese like actors that were playing those samurai and those swordsman roles around that time. But Shintaro Katsu, man, the things he did as the Zatoichi character like was unlike anything that anyone else was doing, and just a really unique character. 23 movies. There was a show as well. Like how fast he was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is in the 60s, man. So this isn't special effects. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No,
this guy was really, really amazing, man. And I really love the Zatoichi movies and Shintaro Katsu as a person as well. So, man, I always tell you a weird story about him. I think I told this story in the pod before. I read a story that this guy found a bear cub and thought it was a puppy and brought it home, then left the house with his wife to do something, and this thing destroyed his whole house.
How could you?
What are you doing?
How could you mistake a bear cub for a puppy?
Bear cub.
A big ass puppy. A bear cub is as big as Cloud,
bro.
Day one.
And then I think the dude like kept it for a while, and it was like, I think this is a bear.
It didn't dawn on him until later. Like, oh, you know what? This might be a bear.
Hilarious. That dude was nuts. That's my top 5 favorite film series. Number 5, Ip Man movies. Shout out to Donnie Yen. Number 4, Avengers. Number 3, Lord of the Rings. Number 2, Star Wars prequels. And number 1, all 23 of the Zatoichi movies. Man, let's go. Shintaro Katsu.
Actually, you know what? I'm changing. My number 1 is Everywhere, Everything, All at Once. just because that movie is fucking awesome, dog.
Even though it's only one, it does feel like 3 movies. Everywhere could be a movie. Everything could be a movie. All at Once could be a movie.
Yep. And it's also technically like, since it's a multiversal movie, it's a sequel to like every movie ever, kind of. So
it is. It's kind of a Matrix sequel.
Yeah,
that's true. But yeah, man, thank y'all for listening. Vagabond EP out now. I think we're overdue for a definitive list. I'll think of one. I'll send it to everybody in the Discord. Thank y'all for listening. Peace.